All right, many of you are going to be waking up to what are pretty tragic conditions in the crypto market right now. A lot of alts double digits down, 20% value shaved off overnight while you slept blissfully unaware of all of the carnage unfolding. And for me, this is really just a confirmation of what we already know. But it's like we say the same about uptrends, okay, and it's the same about equities right now that are ripping, and everything's great in the world of stocks. And I think it's just an acceptance, okay. So it's like we think about equities, and every time I see, I post about equities obviously all the time at the moment, and every time I post, people are like, when the correction comes, it's just an uptrending market. Okay, you just accept the fact it's an uptrending market and you make money because the market goes up, and it's been in easy mode, honest to God, easy mode. And then you flip to crypto, and the argument there is crypto will play catch up, right? And I believe this to some extent. I believe that there might be an opportunity for crypto catch up. But then when you get the confirmation of the news that we've had this week, and obviously the vendetta of the US against crypto, and the current crusade to go after everything crypto related, coupled with the fact that crypto has been weak as shit in comparison to almost every other former correlated market that it has had, there comes a time where you just have to accept the truth, right? You just have to accept the fact that right now, this space isn't worthy of the investment. Now, we've seen another 25% sell off today. And of course, there might be opportunity. You might be looking at that thinking, well, this might provide an opportunity to DCA, or it might provide an opportunity to start a position that you'll DCA for the future. But as of right now, every other market is stronger. Every other market is stronger. You've got strength in the metals. The metals are holding now, silver rally, gold holding at the support level. You've got indexes making fresh highs for 2023. You've got AI stocks that are in just like bubble mode and are just flying up, 35% in a day. You've got Tesla, which is 40% up in a month. You've got a raging bull market on one side, and you've got another market on the other side, which has tragic price action. Not only does it have tragic price action, it is under the microscope and the lens of bodies in the United States who are actively trying to punish the space. So there has to come a point where you just hold your hands up and say, look, you know what? Right now, this space is under some, serious threat and serious attack. Maybe it's best that I enjoy summer and relax and let this unfold and then come back in. I think there's like an underlying sense that like every sell-off is opportunity. Everything is like this great impact that we're going to kind of like turn around at some point very soon, and suddenly monster rip the other side. And of course that may happen, but I think the probably the clearer path for many of you, certainly from like a psychological perspective and not being too engrossed in the markets, is accepting the fact that this has been weak for a long time. And when you kind of have that zoomed out hindsight look, you say, well, yeah, it's fucking obvious. Everything has been trading poorly. We know what the equities have been doing. And many of these alts now are at fresh lows. I looked at AXS this morning. Like, this is fresh lows. Against even this back in 2022. It's an absolute tragic chart. And many alts are doing the same thing, especially the alts that have fallen out of kind of the flavor of the month. They're absolutely slaughtered here. And then you compare it to what's been going on when you look at the indexes and you look at this side of things, right? Like, there is no comparison right now. So I guess this video is a few things. Number one, it's like just accept the conditions. We always refer to the trend is your friend, and not overcomplicating what is right in front of our face. And that is a very bleak outlook from the US. And yes, of course, crypto is going to survive regardless of what the burgers do in this situation, right? That's a given. But there is a huge focus and attack on crypto that from an investor perspective, it's very hard to give the justification for wanting a huge amount of crypto exposure, given what is currently, going on in the US. And then the second part of this is also like, well, if you want to be active in the markets, and I'm not bringing to life the prophecy of when everybody switches to FX and to stocks, then crypto will bottom. I mean, maybe I am slightly. Maybe that's the PsyOps part of this video. But there is value in the market. We haven't got this market where everything is dying off. There is value to be achieved in the markets right now. It's just unfortunately not in the space that a lot of you reside, which is obviously crypto. But there's plenty of opportunity. Now, again, we've got FOMC coming up on Wednesday. So FOMC is another big event for us. It's another event that's going to shape where we are in terms of traditional markets and whatever the impact is for crypto. And while I disagree absolutely fundamentally with those that have looked at the equities rally and, by the way, have been wrong for a significant period of time, all of 2023 they've been wrong, and they continue to be wrong 6 months in, right? So they are absolutely horrendous failures in the fact that they have failed to anticipate or move into an uptrending market, so something that is clearly moving to the upside and has produced great returns on the upside. I do agree that if there is to be a correction in the indexes, if we do see a correction, we see some of these markets move lower, then think about the impact of crypto again. If we get into a situation where risk starts to come off, whereas obviously we're in the kind of the opposite right now, then where does that leave us from a crypto perspective? An already weak market, under the lens, and now a risk-off scenario. At least right now, we have the fact that there is appetite for risk. Now, obviously, the appetite for risk in crypto is dissipating pretty quickly, but that is something to be aware of come next week. So from my perspective, I'm not going to be a buyer at these levels. I think from a technical perspective, I've got no reason to be a buyer at these levels. I think from a kind of, an overall mentality perspective, perhaps things are, quite beaten up right now. People are feeling it. We could use those psychological triggers to start thinking about pressure points of the market and whether or not it's a good opportunity to buy. But certainly from a systematic perspective, there is absolutely nothing on any of the crypto charts that would cause me to be a buyer at these levels. And especially given the current conditions, it's the sort of marketplace where you buy, you look comfy, you get 10% returns, you hold on to the position, somebody tweets something, you're down 30%. It's those sort of conditions, and they are just horrendous conditions for the majority of people to be trying to try and act in. So without wanting this to come across as some sort of, super bearish, yeah, it's probably the bottom, reply guy style commentary. It's a market that just exudes weakness. Why at this moment in time would it be opportunity based on what we're currently seeing in the current climate? So just be careful out there. Even with 20% down on your alts, it's not as though it's suddenly become more enticing to buy this market. It's the same market, it's the same weakness, it's the same lack of correlation to any market with strength, and therefore still concerns, surrounding crypto. But with all that said, have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow for the stream.